God damn it. All right, here we go. Woo! Okay. I'm going to try not to do that. Fuck around and get myself a headache. A worser headache. All right, y'all. Welcome back. I told you I would do the last 10 battles of, the last 10 Mount Battle battles on camera. Plus, I like to round up the videos. But this is a special video. I have Mr. Newman here to do our thing. But we're gonna talk about oh boy, that would have made me mad. 10
Hey, when is this going up? Cause will it even be timely?
tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm recording this a little late. Like I recorded the first 3 episodes Sunday, and like now I'm recording these now because it is what it is. So we're gonna talk about the WWE. Was it Monday Night Raw's debut of Retribution? Now, I normally don't have anybody to talk about wrestling with on the show, like ever. Really, I never ever do. And it kind of sucks that that's the case, but as it stands, like that's just what it is. But I have him here now, and I want to talk about it. And I want to talk about it mostly because as I watched it, I thought to myself, this is the worst shit I have seen on television in a long time. Like, in a really long time. WWE Monday Night Raw Retribution started out the show. I don't have any footage. I'm not going to try to go get any footage. It just is what it is. Look it up on YouTube.
Before we did this, I was gonna go back to rewatch it to refresh myself, and apparently after I was done, I just deleted Raw.
Yeah, that's what I do most of the time.
So it just wasn't there. I don't know why. I have a freaking collection of SmackDown episodes and AEW episodes. After every Raw, I just delete it, I guess.
Okay, so do you remember how they came out?
Ruckus?
Who the hell is Ruckus? Oh, that's not what I meant, but yeah. They started out with what was it? Like 5 or 6 people in the ring at once. Like 5 or 6 people were in the ring at one time. And it was 2 women. If I'm not mistaken, they had 2 girls in the ring, and the girls that they had in the ring were the ones.
I found the video. You can't hear it, but I'm watching. Go on.
The 2 chicks that were in the ring were basically the ones who did the talking. Now, up until this point, Retribution.
No, only the one. Only the one did.
Oh, only the one. Okay, the reason I keep saying there was 2 women, because there were 2 women, but there was one thing that stood out about stood out about both of them that really had me on this. What is this hot, trashy, garbage badness? And it was the fact that the chick in the ring on mic, every one of them had a mask of sorts on. A mask of sorts. The 2 chicks, their masks didn't fit. And when I say the masks didn't fit, what I mean is the chick on mic had to like hold her mask in place. If you've ever seen Mortal Kombat, think of like Scorpion and Sub-Zero. Like it's just over the nose and mouth. The mask kept sliding down off of her nose, and she had to eventually just hold it in place. And the chick standing beside her, her mask was just as ill-fitted. And it was basically like hanging off of her face. And then they had, please, while I'm doing this, look up the names of the other 2 dudes, because of the guys that were like the guys that were in the triple threat at the end of the tag match at the end of the night.
I know who they are.
Okay, good. Because like, I think like one's name was like Pickle Jeff, and like
I know who all of these people are. Oh yeah, Pickle Jeff and Rob Boy Robbie. So I didn't notice the thing about the mask because I was more upset about who was in the group.
Okay.
I
don't know any of
and
the
by
people.
that,
Like that's like
well,
I don't
by
know
that
any of
I
them.
mean, so for weeks, people have been talking about who may or may
speculating,
not be in the group, and they had actually been like rotating people in and out during every one of their quote unquote attacks. They were using different people in the group until I guess they finally settled on this group of people to be the face.
Okay, so here's the deal. Wait.
I noticed.
So for those who clearly don't know, because I'd imagine anybody who comes across this this video will have no fucking idea what I'm talking about or what we're talking about. And basically for like the past month and a half or 2 months, what was going on was what they would do is they would, like the first night they showed up, they would fake glitch out like the camera and the feed and yada yada yada. But at the end of the night, they basically came. They stormed the ring. A bunch of people in like sweatshirts, hooded sweatshirts, black pants, and like black masks over their like nose and mouth, and blah 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 blah. Like that was basically how they came out. So from that point forward, and like the first night they came out with a goddamn chainsaw and they cut the ropes to the ring. Don't question it. It happened. So we never got to see what they looked like. So the night that they started to speak, instead of looking exactly the same, everybody who was in the ring, like they've
distinguished themselves.
Yes, they were very like unique and distinguished, but every single fucking one had a mask on of some sort, and all of them were like plastic masks. One dude had like a T-bar mask on that went over the forehead, down the nose. And
that might be the one that they call T-bar.
T-bar.
Yeah.
T-bar. What's the name? What are the other names? Because like I checked out.
T-bar, Mace.
Slapjack. Motherfucker. That was the one. I'm sorry for the peak. That was the one that I said no. That was the one. I walked away. I was like,
Slapjack was the one that did it.
That was the one. Slapjack. SLAPJACK. In case you ain't quite sure what I'm saying to you. Slapjack.
That's the one where you drew the line
I
at
was
Slapjack.
fucking done. That too much. I was done. I was like, this is ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Slapjack. There's no fucking way they're going to continue to call this man Slapjack. There's no way that they're going to keep calling him Slapjack. Like, I just wanted to let that sit in.
Literally changed. Slapjack's had a change of opinion. We're calling him Tire Iron now.
It would fit in line with T-Bar. So, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It's so upsetting. What?
So what I was saying before though was that I noticed last week when they did their little promo.
Yeah.
I was very upset. I was very, very upset about it because they weren't in the ring yet. They didn't they hadn't taken the hoods off or anything. And the person who was speaking during the promo, I looked at her eyes and I knew immediately who it was, and I was really, really, really not happy about it because I knew that it was Mercedes Martinez, and that's the one that isn't the blue hair, and the blue hair is Mia Yim.
Is that who that was? Oh.
Yeah. Well, it was pretty obvious that Mia Yim was about to get called up because
Keith Lee got
called up.
Right.
Yeah. And also her last match was just some weird loss just out of nowhere on NXT, and we hadn't seen her since. And so it was fairly obvious. I was most upset by Mercedes Martinez's situation, though, because she literally just got here.
Hold on. So when we were talking about this, like the questions you asked me were, did you expect me to like it? Did they expect me to like it? Now, me and
I want to know why you expected me to like it.
Well, because so me and him never agree when it comes to wrestling. I am a super wrestling snob. I don't care about the athletic part of wrestling. Like, I really, really, really do not care about the athletic part of wrestling. I only care about the ability to control the microphone. That's all I give a damn about. That's all I give two fucks about. Whereas, he is all wrestling. He is to wrestling what I am to hip-hop.
I enjoy wrestling as an art form.
Yeah. So we rarely ever agree because, I know what I like and I don't settle for less than what I like. Which, is fine as far as I'm concerned. It's totally what you like is what you like. I don't care. So, I was surprised that he didn't like it because I was just it's WWE. It's I don't know what to expect sometimes. So the reason I bring this up is because you immediately were able to identify Mia Yim and Martinez. Immediately, right? You knew who they were.
You know what's been driving me crazy is every time she's on screen when Jordan watching, and we can't stop ourselves. Hey y'all, it's your girl, Martina Martinez.
What?
Yeah. From Sunny.
Oh my God, that's what I thought you were doing. That's what I thought you were doing, but I wasn't sure. I was like, oh my gosh. Okay.
Yeah, I just didn't do the full voice.
Yeah.
It's so friggin' shrill.
You got a tiny pecker.
So yeah, I was able to identify them. Yes.
So did that bother you? Did the fact that you could clearly
I was
tell
able to?
Yes. Because
not the fact that I was able to identify them, but the fact that it was who I was able to identify.
Now I clearly didn't know who they were. I didn't. I know who Mia Yim is.
Honestly, it could have been anybody, and I still would have been able to identify them.
Right, but what I'm saying is, for me, the reason it's dumb is because when they debut, they debut these characters, right? Anybody who's been watching NXT will eventually realize who these people are. So it doesn't make any sense for you to put them in these roles. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
you needed to bring some of those randos that they had in the crowd for the last few months, people that we've never seen in the ring before. That's who that needed to be. And then we could have been oh, I don't know what they could do. This can be interesting. I can tell you what every single person in that ring is about to do before they even do it. That's an issue.
Yeah, for the most
part. Side note, I went to YouTube to watch that video, and it's on Edge, and I don't use Edge, so I'm not logged in to YouTube. But I watched one Judge Judy video yesterday, and literally every suggestion is new episodes of Judge Judy. So when we're done here,
You're gonna go watch Just Judy.
it's my night.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh yeah, he's weak against Dark type. Fuck. But like as it's so like for you, it's not necessarily a good thing that you can like identify who they are immediately. Because that would be the problem for me. Is like, okay, because I know who Tommaso Ciampa is. I know who Keith Lee is. If they had been in the group, my response would have simply been, "What the fuck? Why is Keith Lee?"
You would have been able to identify Keith.
Yeah, without question. But that's the thing, though. I would have been able to identify Tommaso Ciampa too. Like Tommaso Ciampa is just a nose.
It's hard to hide that beard.
I was gonna say it's a nose that grew a head. So like, I know Tommaso Ciampa. Fuck, I know like Killian Dane. Like I know the majority of the people that they have on NXT. But that's the problem. Like, why would you use people? Mia Yim is like big dollars to NXT. People are gonna notice it's fucking Mia Yim. Why would you use her? Like that's
you know what sucks? You know what sucks is that this is the way. So, you know how when Keith debuted, they debuted him with new crappy, terrible. Turns out that they're trying to phase out the dudes that made his music. And for the most part, yeah, they're trying to phase out CFOs. I didn't know.
What? Why?
Yeah, CFOs they don't work there anymore. They haven't worked there for like over a year. And so they're trying to phase out CFO's music, which is most of the roster.
Yeah, so that means that Naya's getting a new song. Some of the best songs, Mia Yim's song, HBIC is freaking awesome. But now she's in this bullcrap group, so they don't have to use HBIC anymore. So eventually, when she gets her face turned, it's gonna be some new bullcrap music. You know, and you notice like Seth Rollins does not have the same music. They changed, for the most part, Sasha's music. They changed Bayley's music. Just look at it. Like most of the people who use CFO's themes they don't have them anymore because they're not there. And I feel like this was one of their workarounds because Mia hadn't been in the previous tags. She had not been in when they were first coming in. She hadn't been a part of the group as far as I could tell. This is the first time I saw her being a part of it. So that it seems like just a last-minute toss-in for me. The most upsetting thing for me, again, was seeing Mercedes Martinez in the group because she just got here, and I was very excited for her to be signed and to be able to work in NXT to build her name, and now they just tossed this little crappery upon her. By the way, I did look up something that said that their debut was met with laughter backstage. So there's that. Oh, that's fantastic. Oh my god.
So yeah, we're not the only ones that know it was bad. Honestly, to me, it seems like with all this stuff that they were talking about, or like their purpose, you know, for all of the wrestlers who sign contracts in the WWE just to make money.
Wow.
You know, sounds like it was just Vince poking fun at things that the fans said. Which is completely something that Vince would do.
He's old and cantankerous.
Yes, but it's something that he would do. He had somebody go look up the most popular message board, find the most liked comments, and then wrote it down for them to deliver in the ring. Just to let people know that he still does not give a crap about what you think.
Give me an example. Can you give me an example? Like, was there something specific?
What
like
the stuff that they were like, everything they've been saying is, well, specifically for the people that have been the most critical of WWE, and the people who are like, this is why I watch AEW, when for some reason they don't realize that AEW is full of bull crap too.
Okay, because that's something I've talked to Jordan about. Is like the thing with AEW is AEW for the most part is just it's wrestling for people who grew up in the 90s watching wrestling. It's a little bit more violent. It's a little bit more
full
vulgar.
Of a bunch of spot monkeys.
What?
It's spot monkey.
What is a spot monkey?
A spot monkey is freaking Ray Phoenix. Somebody who does all of the ridiculous crap just to get that quick pop from the crowd. They do this stupid spot just to get a pop. It doesn't matter if they get hurt or not. They're spot monkeys.
Okay, that's a thing you said.
That's all of what Young Bucks do. They go into matches and they wait for their moment, and then they just start throwing their spots. You've got all of their super kick spots. Then you have the freaking Indie Taker. That's the spot, the bang for your buck spot. You've got Nick's ridiculous comeback spot. Like,
is that not what they're supposed to do?
You can pin. These are all things that you can pinpoint in each match. But when you're watching the match, it's like they're just lazing around.
Oh, okay.
Waiting for their spot because they know when it happens, they're gonna get that pop.
I hear what you're saying. That's
the majority of AEW matches.
As somebody who watches AEW matches, I don't see that, but that's mostly because like I'm watching them in the same day as like NXT or.
Well, but I watch them too.
Yeah, I don't see that, and I don't know if that just makes me dumb, or if it makes me like not a fan.
No, it's just how it's how we watch wrestling differently. I watch more.
I'm not watching I'm not watching the business. I'm watching as like somebody who wants to be entertained. Yeah. And that's all I got.
And I mean, honestly, like you should be fairly entertained from AEW.
I am.
People like Chris Jericho on the mic all the time.
Yes, exactly. And and for me, like the thing is, like
Jericho is killing it.
I'm just impressed by the fact that okay, like we can talk about AEW. I would like to talk about AEW. Like I am impressed by the fact that he's there regularly. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I didn't expect that.
He had a full-time contract.
I didn't expect it, though. Like, I didn't expect him and Cody to actually be there, like, week in, week out. Like, Cody's hurt
Cody's
now.
One of the founders.
Yes, but that's the thing. I thought it would be more like Triple H's position. Like, he's there, yeah, but he ain't in the ring.
No.
Or he ain't on camera.
Cody is 100. Here's the thing I don't think a lot of people know about Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes is a wrestling fan. Cody Rhodes isn't in wrestling just because his dad was in wrestling, just because his brother was in wrestling. Cody Rhodes grew up in love with wrestling and still regularly watches old wrestling. Because apparently he has insomnia and he's up super late, and that's what he does. He watches old wrestling.
Fantastic. It's like it is what it is. Like I just didn't expect that, and like for them to have I'm on the fence about Nyla Rose because I realize like she's transgender and I don't have a problem with that necessarily, but I'm not necessarily I don't stand by the idea that I identify as a female, therefore I should be able to fight women. Yeah, fucking Andy Kaufman tried that, and fucking Jerry Lawler beat his ass. And
here's the thing though,
I'm just saying,
if you didn't know Nyla Rose was transgender, would you be able to tell?
Yes.
No, you wouldn't.
No. Hello, here's the thing. Jordan was able to tell immediately. Jordan knew something was off immediately. Immediately. And like, I personally, I ain't gonna give away too much, but yeah, I can tell that there's something. I don't want to use the term off, but I will definitely say.
So here's the thing.
There's something about him, her, that like makes you question it. The voice doesn't.
Here's why I.
Oh, I've seen him before transitioning.
Nyla Rose. Oh, I haven't. But Nyla Rose is
not
no bigger than Nia Jax.
Yes, I'm aware of that. But there's one there's a major difference between their shape. There's a that's like Nyla Rose is Nia Jax is built like a fat chick, whereas Nyla Rose is built like a fat, not a fat dude, but a stocky dude. Fucking Shane.
Here's the thing.
Shane
Taylor. Bad wrestler.
I ain't gonna argue it, but it ain't you ain't wrong. But I feel bad about agreeing with you. I say that
we don't need to talk about him.
Who, Nyla?
No. Who you were about to talk about?
Who?
Ring of Honor.
Who's in the Ring of Honor?
You were about to say.
Shane Taylor. Oh yeah, Shane Taylor's big old booty. Yeah, that boy got a dunk on him, boy. Like that's what I'm. Like y'all can call it what you want to. Look up wrestling matches of Shane Taylor. He's a bald black dude.
Ridiculous.
That dude got a fatty, boy. He got that wagon. Like oh mama's, and it jiggle like it's got physics. Like his ass moves. It's wild. Like it's like I don't know how else to word it, but yeah, like it's like that. Like you can tell that she's not quite a woman, but I would say but that's the thing. Like the stuff I see in AEW, and I feel like we're about to start seeing it more in WWE since all the firings. It feels like they with AEW they seem to have a smaller roster, so more people wrestle consistently. Like you don't see the exact same people every week.
Fun fact. AEW has a massive roster.
Do they really? Okay.
AEW has a massive roster. And it's because when they first started, they just started snatching up indie talent. And then WWE also started snatching up indie talent. And so AEW was like, okay, well, we got to keep snatching up indie talent. AEW has a massive roster. And for some reason, they keep just bringing in random new people that they haven't even signed to contract. Like, do you notice every week you're hearing the commentators say, making their AEW debut every week? It's happening. They just keep bringing in new people, and eventually they sign them to new contracts. AEW has a massive roster, and I think when they're back on the road, you'll start to see
yeah, because
more people will disappear.
Okay.
They'll be in and out.
Because I didn't start watching AEW until the quarantine started. Well, the quote unquote quarantine, because let's be real, there's no such thing as a fucking quarantine. It's not real. The quarantine does not exist. But yeah, I didn't start.
Only isolation.
Yeah, for the and that's barely. Honestly. Fuck.
So I think the difference that's been made is the fact that they've been stationary.
Yes.
And
well, so is WWE.
Well, that's the thing. The reason you're seeing the same people over and over again, the majority of them live in Florida. Or they have residences in Florida. Specifically, the people in NXT and the people who are on the main roster that came from NXT, because they relocated to Florida to go through NXT, so they already lived there, so they were already available to be there. And I can't say the same about AEW because I know for a fact that Cody lives in Texas. You know, the Young Bucks live in California. So I can only assume that, well, I know that they're pre-recording things, so I can only assume that they're like pre-recording multiple things a week, and then they'll get a week at home and then go back, you know?
Yeah. That's fair.
But they're keeping, like, the people who are close employed. Because I know Jericho lives. And so that's why he's been there literally every week. The weird situation with Dean Ambrose, because I know that he and Renee live in freaking Vegas.
Yeah.
So, but he's there every week.
Okay, well, yeah. Like, this is the kind of stuff I learn when I talk to you, because I don't delve into the into this side of it, because I honestly just want to watch wrestling. You know what I mean? Like, I just want to watch it and like enjoy it, like enjoy the show. That's it.
Well, I mean,
not to say that like
forever. I've been trying to get a job, so I must stay in now.
And I just find it wild that it is the way it is. Like, I don't think like I was trying to say, like people like Nyla Rose, I don't think in the WWE would have much of a place. I really just don't think they would make room for her. I don't think they would necessarily put her on the roster. Like with Nia Jax, like the issue with Nia Jax.
No, they wouldn't know how to handle that situation.
Yeah.
And the thing I'm having the problem with, or the thing I had the problem with the most in the beginning, was the fact that so AEW wants to point out this whole weird inclusive thing, and the thing is, the problem I have is that they continuously try and point it out. They want to let you know, it's like, oh yeah, I have this black friend that I bring with me everywhere I go, so I have black friends. So you can't say that I'm racist. It's just like how they're always talking, how they always talk about Aubrey Edwards, the lady ref. And it's like, so WWE hired her first. Also, WWE had 2 full-time women referees working before y'all were even a company. But y'all continuously point out the fact that you have this woman as a referee.
Hey man, they just want her to they just want her to feel recognized and appreciated. That's all it is. Ow.
No, but the thing is like she worked for WWE as a referee first. Like, they hired her as a referee first, but they didn't make a big deal about the fact that, the woman referee that's on SmackDown all the time, she was the first woman referee they hired, and then they brought in Aubrey Edwards. And, like, they did not make a deal about it at all. It's like, yeah, we have a woman ref now, so what? But AEW all the time is like, yeah, Aubrey Edwards, she's one of the best in the business, and it's not she's a woman, but just because she's good. And, when they hired Nyla Rose, it was like, yeah, she's the first transgender women's wrestler, to work for a main promotion, and we didn't hire her just because she's transgender. Yes, you did hire her just because she's transgender. You wanted to point out that you were being inclusive, because you definitely didn't hire her because she's a good wrestler.
I mean, we could say the same thing about Nia Jax and I almost called her Samoa Joe.
We know why Nia Jax got hired though, because she's a part of that family.
Yeah, and I guess that answers for Tamina as well.
Yeah, she's a part of that friggin' dynasty.
Because it is what it is. Tamina isn't good, and neither is Nia Jax.
Tamina is terrible. However, Nia isn't terrible.
No,
Nia can put on good matches,
but she doesn't have
the right person.
But she ain't got nobody who can keep up with her energy. I really think the only person out there, the only person that we have on staff right now they can put on a good show with Nia is Asuka. Because like I still
And yeah, that's one of that was the most upsetting thing about watching like their feud during the summer, because I watched what their matches could be 4 years ago NXT, and it was fantastic. And then they pulled some bull crap out this summer, which was really upsetting.
I really feel like they have
And
to.
it also gave Nia a bad rep.
I really feel like the issue with all of this comes down to like the people who watch SmackDown and Raw are like dumb for the most part, and they have to dumb down the wrestling.
Well, yeah, it is dumb. It is dumbed down. It is.
All right, hold that thought.
Very, very much so.
We'll get back to that. It's been 35 minutes. Go ahead and end this episode here. Hopefully you're enjoying this great conversation. If you're not, then why did you stay this long? It's been about wrestling since the start. And it's probably going to continue to be about wrestling because we both like wrestling. But either way, until next time, y'all, we out of here. Peace. Well,